Hello Libra, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So my dear Librans, my cosmic scales of justice, this is an interesting reading. I feel like it's going to be interesting because I sat down, I had a whole other set of cards. It was weird. It was like I sat down, it felt so right, exactly what deck to pull out and how I was going to get started. I was hearing very clearly, no oracle decks. I was just going to use the Tarot of Dreams, and I was just going to like pull out your story. And then I started doing the reading, and then it all stopped. Like all the communication stopped in the cards. And it's like, no, this is wrong. This is totally wrong. How did this not feel wrong before I sat down to do the reading? Because it felt so right. It was so weird. It was like, it felt so right, and now it feels so wrong. So I stopped, and I sat down, and I knew exactly, like, I just was looking at the cards, and I pulled this out. What is at the bottom here? That's funny. The Seven of Wands. The Gregory Scott Tarot deck, the Tarot of Positive Clarity. And it was almost like something became more clear as I sat down to do it. You know what, I'm actually picturing someone who's putting together an old clock or a watch and sitting down and thinking they know exactly what tools they need to do that. Got it all ready. Got like your white cloth out so you can see every little screw and gear. It doesn't get lost. You have the screws and gears out, and you have all the little tools. And then you sit down to do it. No, these tools are not right at all. This is not right. And it's almost like a shock. But it's not something that can't be corrected. It can be easily corrected. It's a little bit like, oh, I don't know. I don't know why I'm seeing clocks. Maybe time has some sort of meaning for you right now. Fixing time? Fixing time? Going back in time? What's like going back in time? Yeah, it's like going back in time, but fixing the clock. Gosh, I haven't even pulled out any cards yet. And I'm getting so much in this reading, Libra. I haven't even done my regular spiel. Hi, it's me, Cindy. This is your reading, Libra. It's general. May or may not resonate. If it does, there's an extended. The link to that is at the top of the description of this video. Yeah, like fixing time. That's what this reading feels like fixing time. But see, what I'm seeing is it's like you sat down and you thought, this isn't right, because I know Timex didn't exist. Like, I don't think it did. A couple hundred years ago. I don't know how this is related to you if it's from a couple hundred years ago. But that's what I'm seeing. Like, I'm seeing like there's two types of clock manufacturers. There's two types of time manufacturers here. And you sat down thinking that you were going into a Timex. So you had the right tools for that. But then when you opened it up and you saw all the components and the gears, oh, this is not that at all. This is a quartz. I don't know. I know that's really lame, but like that's what it's like. So no, I need the tools for that. It's like you are the craftsman for whatever it is that you're involved in, what you're doing. It is your craft. But something, and maybe the actual gears, like maybe like 100 years ago, somebody took all the components from, I'm just using Timex and quartz. It's honestly the only thing coming into my head now. Put the gears from a Timex into the box of a quartz. So you thought you were going to be dealing with those components, you know, like when people play around with old cars too, they could take like a Chevy engine and put it in a Ford. Like that's what that feels like. And so you've sat down, you're going to sit down and you're going to do something, but it has to do with time. I don't know. So I'm going into the Return of Spirit Oracle deck. I'm just pulling out a card. I'm just going to see what comes out, really. prayers. Wow. You can see one of these is lit up more than the other. Here, this one is really, like they all have at the point, they all have an intensity, a level of brightness kind of reflected in how white it is. One of these is really intense. It's like you're lighting up a whole bunch of little components. There's a sense of, this reminds me a bit of the energy I was getting in the extended for Virgo yesterday. An ancestral energy, a very old, like here we go with the time and the clocks, a very, very old ancestral energy. I want to read what this prayers is for you. This is really interesting. A frequency shift in love, the storm. Things are about to change for you. But it has something to do with the hands of time. I've had a message similar to this a long time ago, where changing the future changes the past. No, changing the present changes the past. And by changing the past, you are changing the future. I know some people are going, I don't know what he's talking about. No, because time is not linear. And how do we know that if we don't do something, I don't know what this is, Libra, this is a really open reading for you. How can we ever even prove, if we are based in our reality and our reality shifts? I mean, that's the whole concept too of Mandela effect energy. There's a lot of, I don't know, anyway. But if something has changed, your reaction, or your predictable reaction from the universe to something has changed or changes, somehow that affects the past. And I think it's because it almost takes you on a new timeline. So the timeline, that makes a lot of sense. Because imagine reality is all these filaments of possibilities. Any reality does exist. It's where you consciously leap yourself. So if you are leaping yourself consciously here, it's a frequency shift. And it's a big one. You have love and storm. It's big. It's big and beautiful. And prayers is so, if I'm just on the surface, something you could have prayed for a long time ago, hoped for, wished for, dreamed of. And that shift is coming in and it's beautiful. But it has to do with your reactions have shifted you to a new frequency. And this new frequency is a new reality, a new concept of reality. And because you're on that concept of reality, that also means that your past is different. Does that not make sense? That's how that happens. And then, of course, your future is different. Well, what have you been up to? I don't know this. Okay, let's just see what prayer says. Don't go away. No, it's not for you. Out. Go. I ain't talking to you. Okay, sorry. I have a problem with starlings. Anyways. They're... Deep breaths. Oh yeah, no, you're okay. You're okay. See, the purple finch came in now. That's just... Yeah, see, they know. The old lady with the gray hair is going to get me food. Can scare away the bad ones. Don't you even think... I have to edit this. Nice to... Don't. No. Go. There you went. I think he was going to come and scare the purple finch away. Okay, so, prayers. You are being heard. Your guides and angels are acknowledging your prayers, thoughts, and communication with them. This is their way of affirming to you that your messages are getting through to them loud and clear. It is easy to feel as though you are not being heard at times, mainly because the communication feels as though it is only one way. This is exactly why the prayer card has come to you today. Every time you pray or talk to your guides and angels, you are opening up a direct line of communication with them. Although they cannot answer you in the form of words, they are sending you energetic and intuitive replies. Take time after your prayers to sit quietly. Feel your own energy and the energy within your room. You will start to find that you are becoming more sensitive to their presence and may also start to tune into the divine messages they have for you. If you have not been speaking to your guides and angels, then this card has come to encourage you to do so. Relationships take effort on both sides, and they're wanting to build the relationship with you. Talking with spirit is a powerful way to feel supported, connected, and cared for, especially when we are feeling alone in our physical world. Usually when this card appears, it is because you are much more able than most to hear the messages of spirit. Prayer is a powerful building block in strengthening your intuitive gifts. Begin looking for replies and answers to your prayers in your everyday world as well. Spirit is reaching out to communicate back to you now. Yeah. That's what this is about. So you have done a frequency shift here. And in this frequency shift, I feel like it's also taking you, it's opening you up more somehow, to even more so than how you were before in terms of your intuition, following it, hearing your guidance, just kind of going with the flow. I think that last part too, like in your world, you're going to see signs and synchronicities, receive messages. I feel like very inspiring. And prayer too, I mean, I just find prayer can be linked to a very religious affiliation. I would even like meditation, just your communication, you know, just your quiet internal voice and speaking between you and your deeper self or the universe or God, like whatever you want that to be. Or it doesn't have to be this symbol of someone sitting and kneeling at it and praying to God, or, you know, it's whatever that is for you. It's your communication. I feel like too, it's actually more than just the word prayer. The level of communication that you're opening up, it's like a constant frequency connection. It's a constant frequency connection. And why is it so important that the past is changed? Oh, I guess because the future, when I try to think about stuff. Why is it so important that the past has changed? Because that reflects what the future will be. So that's why. It's interesting. So you might be finding things in your future that are very unexpected. And that's because your mental mind may still kind of be grounded in the reality that you had for yourself prior to this sort of big leap. So your mind will need to catch up to the concepts of where you are now. So let's just pull tarot. I wonder how many times those starlings come up here when I'm not here. I think I talk about them in all my readings now. They're not a native species bird to Canada, European starling, so they're invasive and they're aggressive. They're grumpy as shit. They fight with each other and then they fight with everyone else. And they're not, and then they just come in a bigger and a bigger crowd. So I've reduced the size. I've got new bird feeders just for finches and sparrows. And I have one on the door here, and they're trying to get into it. It's like a suction cup feeder, so it's kind of like a bigger tray. Anyway, my starting problem right now. Pulling out cards for Libra. Where's this message for Libra? Hard to get my hands on it. The Ace of Pentacles. Maybe it's hard for you to get your hands on this. This is like a crowning achievement. This is a crowning achievement. Something really regal and royal about this. A crowning achievement. What else is with this? My God, it's so beautiful. The Six of Cups. It's a crowning achievement. It's beautiful. It's really loving and kind, and I feel like the universe is about to sort of like embrace you, but right? Look at this. A frequency shift. I can't even hold them up. Of love and a storm. The storm to me is a change. It's a big change. So you're about to have, like, and it's real, with this Ace of Pentacles. I'm hearing this is it. So I'm going to put a card underneath each one of these. I think you've been nurturing your own inner child. Oh, so much came out, apparently. That's a lot. The Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Emperor, the Nine of Cups, and the Page of Wands. Somehow this feels like the past, but it's changed. What is the new past? This is the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands. So you have two aces here. The Emperor, the Nine of Cups, and the Page of Wands. This is the past. You know what? It's almost like seeing the past like mutating or melting or moving into itself. Like, actually, it feels like the past is changing now. I mean, for simple, just, I mean, looking at the cards, I can just tell you, like, there's an emotional disconnect. And in that, finding your inspiration, finding, like, the inspiration to move forward in a grand new way. This Emperor in this card bothers me. He feels really bossy. He feels really bossy. He's got his hand, like, up on a map or a blueprint. And it's kind of like, this is the blueprint that you're supposed to follow. You have to follow this blueprint. This is the energy that hasn't shifted. That's what's the same here. Because I see, okay, so then you have the Nine of Cups. This is really exciting. Like, there's fireworks in the background. People are clapping and applauding. She's pregnant. Even the dog is looking at her. So happy. It's a really happy energy. And the Page of Wands. Oh, gosh. The Page of Wands feels like the person who was celebrated before they were born. This is them. This is them out of the tummy, like, years later. What is this reading? This is your story. There's an awful lot of red-headed people in here. When I think of, like, I think of redheads, I think of Vikings and Viking, like anyone up in sort of the, like, Scandinavian areas, sort of. Okay, I'm just going to read what I'm getting here and not try to figure it out. Like, so what is going on here? There's something shifting in your past, but there's something that hasn't been shifted, and it's the Emperor. You could even have been reborn on some level here. I feel like you're going in a completely different direction from where you've been. I mean, you may even be choosing to go in a different direction than any of your ancestors have ever gone. But this story was written like hundreds of years ago. Your story was written hundreds of years ago. And somehow the energy has changed. This is a crowning achievement. Maybe just jumping this timeline is a crowning achievement. Like maybe no one in your ancestral lineage has been able to do something you're about to do, or move into a new reality or frequency that you're about to, that you are. For some of you, okay, for some of you, I feel like a parent or someone is trying to, someone who's passed is trying to connect with you. This is the frequency shift, the loves, the prayers. This person is still embracing you, sort of like in the ethereal, their spirit. And I'm just hearing like, they knew you could do it. They knew you could do it. This is, yeah, definitely someone that gave you life, either planted the seed of life or bore the seed of life. Okay, but the Emperor energy, oh my God, no way. The Emperor's at the bottom of the deck. See, there's something about the timeline that hasn't shifted in that. Oh, what is that? It's almost like, okay, I feel as though you have accomplished something on some level here for yourself, and you have successfully cleared ancestral karma here, an ancestral pattern. That's what this is. You have successfully cleared an ancestral karmic pattern. It's the first time I've ever said that, because I've said many times you are in the process of clearing karma, even karma linked to your ancestors. You have done it. I don't know what you did, but you did it. This is a crowning achievement. This is a crowning achievement. And you are like literally being celebrated in outer space. Like, to describe it, it's just like literally being celebrated in the heavens, in the ethereal. All your ancestors are up there having a grand old time. You may not even, like, you probably don't even feel it yet though, but there's still something that, there's something that hasn't been cleared, and it's this Emperor energy. And I mean, that could just have something to do with the fact that you live on planet Earth, and there's a lot of rules and regulations, and such that we're obligated to follow, sometimes that we need to follow. And, you know, depending on what scale you sit on too, on the rebellious nature, you just got to realize that the minute that you are born and that you breathe the breath of life, you have created a karmic debt, because you have taken something from Earth. So you are required to continuously give and take and give and take. You cannot just take and you cannot just give. So there does have to be a balance here in terms of, well, your responsibilities to things that have been built in this world on some level. So what is this Emperor? This is the energy that feels like has, oh my gosh, the Emperor and the Empress. Wow. Make abundance. To make abundance. Okay, so there's still something that you have to do. You're still working here. I don't know what you're doing. You came in as a workhorse in this lifetime, I feel like. You came in as a bit of a workhorse. You've cleared. You have. Like, give yourself an applause, Libra. You've done something. Let's see what it is. I really, really honestly feel like it just feels like your ancestors in heaven. You have cleared something that none of you will ever have to repeat again in this lifetime. Or in any lifetimes. Like, that's done. You did it. But there's more here. But it's interesting. You're built for it. You're made for it. You can do it. The Emperor and the Empress, like this energy is very yin yang. Oh God, that hurt. Oh, my teeth are so sore. Oh, from my dental, the teeth are moving. The Nine of Cups. It really went right up into my face. That the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Look at you from like, but they got the Page of Wands right over here. Immovable energy. You moved something that couldn't move. You moved something that had been stuck for a long time. You perhaps took a concept and you completely turned it around and gave it a new breath of life. Whether that was in your life, specifically in the lives of people around you, something that you've been working on. But it's big. It's something that I feel like ancestors before you were not able to move. But you also can't say that, well, I did it. It's all about me. But no, because I mean, all this energy would have been supporting you and working with you as best that ethereal energy could in the 3-dimension. This is a group effort, but you had to do it in the 3-dimension. It's always felt like to me that the 3-dimension is the dimension that spirit is trying to break into. It's the newest dimension. It feels like the newest dimension. So you did it. You conquered something in this dimension and off you go into a new day. You were born. Like you've been reborn. You've been born. The Page of Wands. This is where you... Dang, look at this energy. Temperance, the Knight of Swords, and Justice. Wow, you've moved the immovable. Temperance is like striking through it. But temperance can be a good thing. But it's like, no, it's time for justice. It's not time for temperance. It's time for justice. And that's what you've done. So what is this Emperor and Empress? All right, cool. I have so much wax in my mouth right now, too. I feel like a candle. So much wax in my mouth. And even just pressing the wax onto the spots, the tooth kind of like moves a bit. Oh my God. It's moving in my mouth. The Emperor and the Empress. Yeah. Yeah. It's something you got to put some work in. You got to put some thought into it. You got to figure it out. You're going to have to adjust along the way a bit. But it's probably worth it. Because you get the Sun. It's the Sun and the Seven of Pentacles. And you can even look at these as two they are two counterparts. They are the epitome of counterparts, the Emperor and the Empress. This is not the King or the Queen. You've aced something here. And maybe that's what's happened, is it's leveled you up to become this Emperor-Empress energy. You have it's a crowning glory, like you've achieved it. This is a major achievement in the physical realm here. You have made some sort of major achievement in the physical realm, and now because of that, you do have the capacity with the Seven of Pentacles to reach the Sun. I don't know, Libra. I feel like you came here with the intention, like in this reading, this lifetime, with the intention, your soul's, a major soul contract here was to clear some sort of karmic pattern that's linked to your DNA and your soul tribe. And I almost feel a little bit like you did it ahead of schedule. Like whatever age you're at now, don't do it. I told you, go. No. Go, go, go. Go. Don't look at me like that. No, you're cheeky and you're rude. Yeah. Sorry. So it's almost like regardless of what age you're at, you made this achievement kind of sooner than would have been anticipated. And it might not seem like this. Maybe it seems like, oh my God, I've been going through this forever. Well, guess what? It kind of could have been going on a lot longer. But no, you did it. And then this feels like something like, almost like, oh, this is a bonus. This might even be something that you may not have anticipated clearing or achieving in this lifetime, like your soul's contract. It might have been kind of intended, well, the intention here is likely we'll get this into another lifetime, but you're here now for it. And it's the crowning glory. You are the crowning glory right now, Libra, for you and your ancestors. That's the biggest part of this reading that I would take from that. You are the crowning glory for you and your ancestors right now. Have yourself a little celebration. Oh, my teeth. But you know what? Have a celebration now, because there's more work to be done. You have this Two of Cups. What do we have here? You have the Strength card. This is at the bottom. The Five of Wands. The Four of Wands. And the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords coming in at the end tells me that there's more work to be done. The Two of Cups and the Strength card. That's like the Emperor and the Empress energy here. Oh, look. This mind is full of barbed wire. And when Ten of Swords is at the other side of it. Wow. Your concept of love. Well, the frequency of love. And so your concept of love is going to change. Right now, it's clouded. It's not good. Your concept of, not that it's not good. It's not empowering. Your concept of love is not empowering. And you're going to find something that's worth fighting for. I really get this here. With this Five of Wands into the Four of Wands. Look at this, holding them back and to have the celebration. It will be defended. Your spirit guides will continue to work with you to defend this. And the Ten of Swords, that's the work. That's the Strength card here. So you've gone through something. You've made some sort of major achievement. Have a little celebration now, because there is more work to be done, Libra. You're still alive, you're still breathing. There's more work to be done here on Earth. So, yeah, your concept of love is going to change. Wow, there you go. So I'm going to go do the extended and see where we go with that, and maybe take some Advil between them. Thank you, Libra. That was really interesting. You pulled me into a cosmic warp there. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.